This is Karen from Grace Be Creations, and I know it's been a couple of days since I've done a done a video. I've got journal on my mind because I have some great news for you all. So I've got journal on my mind. I've been thinking about it all day today. Before I start with what we're doing in this video tonight, I want to share with you guys that I have come up with the size of the journal that I'm doing in this new series that's coming up. I know all of you guys have been telling me how much you really want to do a junk journal from beginning to end, so I am bringing it to you. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna be a pretty long series because it's a lot involved. But just know that it'll be something that I do twice a week with projects in between, if that makes sense, so that I can cater to the other things too, like my design team projects and, doing projects in between working on the journal series. I'm still coming up with a schedule for the channel. I haven't had time to sit and do that yet, but I will have a schedule coming up. But for now, I'm letting you guys know that we are going to be starting a junk journal series, creating a full journal, signatures and all, bookbinding, the whole process of what goes into making a junk journal. So I have picked the size of what I'm going to do. It's not as wide as my other journals, but it's not as thin as the slim journals. This book is, I had the size in my head, now I can't find, here it is. This journal is going to be 6 3/4 wide by 10 3/4 long. So it's a pretty long book, but it's not too fat. And I haven't decided yet how many signatures I'm gonna do. This is the chipboard. This came from a very old book, by the way. I just pulled the red cover off of it. It's perfect. It's thick. It's durable. It's going to be great for a junk journal. And now I need to choose how big of a book I want to do. And this is the chipboard I'm going to use for the signature, for the spine. I'm not sure if I'm going to do 3 signatures or 4. I don't think I'm going to do 5 because I think that would be really overwhelming for me. I've done a lot of 5 signature books and it was really overwhelming. So me doing it on camera, I don't want to overwhelm myself. So I think I'm going to go with either a 3 or a 4 signature book. So this series is starting tomorrow. Tomorrow's video, because I'll tell you what I'm doing tonight in a minute. It has to do with the journal though, okay? My inspiration for this book starts with this piece of lace fabric. I absolutely love it and I want to use it on the next book. So this is my start. I always start with the cover first. I don't start with the signatures. I go right to the cover. Once I start the cover and I get the idea of the cover, then it goes into the signatures after. I always create the cover first. The book first, I mean. The book cover. So this is my inspiration. I need to know what I'm going to cover the book with to put this on top. I'm going to look at some fabric tonight so that by tomorrow's video, we're going to cut the spine. I'm going to show you how I bind the spine onto the book. And then we're going to work on choosing what fabric and how I want to place the book. I have all kinds of book front ideas that I've pulled. I don't know if I want to do a hinge. I'm doing a vintage book. A mixture of vintage and shabby chic. It's going to be more towards the vintage side. But I haven't decided if I want to use this elegant book handle or if I want to do this shabby kind of book hinge, or if I'm going to end up doing something like this, or if I'm going to do something small. But the video that we're doing today is, this is a journal topper that I made. I was going to use this for the new book. I'm not sure yet, but I wanted to create another one so that I have a choice. So I'm going to make a journal topper with you today in this video. I'm going to show you how I make my journal toppers. This is the most recent one that I did. I like it, but there's a few photos that I liked more that I saw today that I'm like, I'm going to make another journal topper, and then I'll decide later which one I'm going to use. So we're going to start the book series tomorrow. We're going to make the spine. We're going to look at some fabric and decide if we're going to cover the book tomorrow. But I'm going to show you how to do the spine onto the book, how I do it. And it's a whole awesome series. So we're going to start that tomorrow. But today, we're going to do a journal topper. So I have all the stuff to start my journal topper. I found this website today of this woman who has absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous digitals. And I went and got a lot of her digitals today. It's called Love Me Papers. And oh my goodness, like I can't even tell you how many gorgeous images that I have found. She sent me a sample of one of her collages when I bought some of her digitals today. Her work is amazing. I'm going to be using a lot of different people in my book coming up. A lot of my design teams that I'm on. Raindrop Lila, Sweet. I'm going to be using the most recent design team that I'm on, Sweet Pea Curiosities. So I will be doing a lot of different things that are going to go into this new book. So, but today I just want to do a journal topper because journal toppers are fun. I think they're a lot of fun. So this is the image that I'm thinking about using for the journal topper. I don't know if I want to go with the darker or if I want to go with the lighter. I went in and I lightened it up a little bit because I didn't know if I wanted it as sepia tone digital, dingy looking color, more like that rustic color. So I think I'm going to go with the lighter one, and I'm just going to cut it with my cutter. So I know you guys are probably so excited that we're doing a book series. A lot of people asked if I could do one. And so I thought about it because I know it's a lot of work. Doing a full junk journal, a bigger one, the slim journals are a little bit easier, but when you do a really big book, it's a lot of work. And I'm sure a lot of you know that if you've done one. But I'm going to show you how I do mine. And I hope that it can inspire and help anyone who wants to start a book. So feel free to craft along with me while I'm doing this book series. If you want to make a book with me, or if you just want to watch along the way and then make your own after. I do a lot of thinking when I go into making my books. I will think for days, and then something will click. And once something clicks, it's just game on from there. I just go like 1,000 miles per hour. But it takes me a while to get there because I have to get all the ideas in my head ahead of time. All right, So I stitched this ahead of time because I can't bring my camera over to my sewing machine. So I went and stitched this fabric, and what I did is I made a pocket. This really nice embossed fabric, and so I stitched it onto cardstock with a little piece of lace in there in between. I'm sorry, not lace. What am I doing here? It's like a little piece of fabric. It's another piece of fabric on top of fabric. So what I was thinking about doing is I really like this frame that I had on the other one. So I'm thinking that I might put this on the front and then add this really pretty frame on top. But before I do that, I want to layer this a little bit more. So on this journal topper, it looks like I did some side lace, some pearls, and I did a little bit of fabric. I have some kind of fabric underneath, so I think I'm going to do something like that. I was thinking it's going to kind of cover the embossed paper that I just did. That I just put on there, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I did it for the thickness of it, not so much for the look of it, because I knew I was going to cover it anyways. This is going to cover it, so we ain't going to see it anyways. Of course, this right here is my favorite lace. I really wanted to incorporate this onto this book. Whether I put it on the book or the journal cover, that page topper, I don't know. So, the fun begins. I think what I might do is I might add I think this goes on the other. I was making sure it wasn't backwards. Okay, I'm gonna line this with this lace because this is really pretty. Oh, I didn't move my glue. Move it over. Okay. So I am so excited about this series, though. I'm a little nervous, but I think in all, I think it's going to be a fun series to do. I get to dive into making a big book again. I haven't done that in so long. I've been gravitating more towards the slim journals, and I haven't done a big book since, what is it, the bird one? Yeah, I think it's the bird one or the flower front one, the blue one. I forget which one I did last. I think the last one I did was a 4 signature. My biggest one was the 5 signature. They're on my flip throughs. If you go into my other videos, you'll see my 5 signature books. They're pretty thick and they are chunky. I make thick books. I love to fill them up with all kinds of awesome stuff. Why is this curling up? That is weird. This lace is curled. So I've seen a couple of people have done my last tutorial. That made me happy. I saw a couple of people that that went along and did my project. So that was fun. I love seeing that. What in the world? Do I have to iron this? How come this is all curled? I might have to unroll it and use the other side and go and iron that later. Oh boy. No problem. Okay. I think I'm going to go right. I want to have the lace hanging over the edge. So I'm going to go right about there. Ooh, I almost cut my finger. All right, so I'm going to glue that one down. I've been fiddling around today with all like the downloads and printing, and I'm looking up at the clock. I'm like, I did it again. I'm starting a video at 8 o'clock. What is it? 8:41. Lovely. What is it? I've been sitting here all day. Well, I've been making some macaroni salad and stuff in between. I was making stuff for a dinner tomorrow that we're doing. So I can't say I wasn't doing anything, but I could have easily started this a lot earlier. I don't know what it is. I like doing videos at night. But then you guys don't get to see it until either later on in the evening or the next morning. So I feel bad. All right. I'm going to be trimming that, so don't worry. Oh boy. I don't think I like the space in the middle though. I might have to add another piece on top. Because that might, oops. I don't want that hole in there. I can put it underneath maybe. If I bring it closer together, then we're going to lose the edge, although I don't want it being that wide. Hold on. Thank goodness it hasn't dried yet. I'm going to bring it in a little bit more. I don't think it needs to be that far apart. Let me just put a little more glue down. I don't know what I was thinking, why I was going that wide. You know what? I think I'm just going to do this so it comes together. I want it to be able to show on both sides, the outer edge lace. Yeah, that works. That works. I'm going to trim it. Where do I want to trim that? Do I want to trim it at the very top of the pocket? Yeah, I'll do it at the top. I want to keep that pocket because I think that's really cool to have a pocket for your journal topper. And you can stuff a card in there or whatnot. Some old vintage paper. I ripped it a little bit here, but that's okay. I'm still keeping it. I'm gonna learn to work with it sometimes because mistakes will happen when making a journal. And you can't always just print another one or... All right, so now I think I'm good and layered. I don't think I need to add anything else before adding the picture on top. I want to make sure before I place this down that there's nothing else that I want to add. I know I brought some tissue paper over, but I don't think I need to add anything, emboss paper or anything, or, well, because this is going to cover it, so even if I was to layer that up, this is going to cover it anyways. So probably that wouldn't make sense. I should have embossed this die cut. You know what? I think I'm going to go and emboss this die cut off screen for a second. I'm taking a risk at ripping this more, but I really think it would look nice if I embossed this with something really cool. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go try and emboss the top of this die cut really quick. Be right back. I have to hit the pause button. Okay, so I embossed it. It didn't show up that well, and I think it's because of the kind of paper that I used. So it didn't, if you looked, you can see a little bit, but not enough to make a huge difference. So, oh well, I tried. I thought I would just give it a try. I thought it was going to make it look a lot different, but I think it would look a lot different if the paper was colored, a darker color. So I think because it showed up, you know, it's white or ivory, I think that's why. So it's good. I tried. All right, so I'm going to place this down right in the center. I was hoping to add a little book page along the end, so I am going to grab some book paper really quick. And I thought about this just as I was hitting the pause button. That I think I want to just add just a little bit to give it. I didn't glue down the sides, just the center to hold it. I want to just probably add just a little along the edges. Although, wait a minute, hold on. I want to make sure it's going to show. Gotta make sure, okay. I'm glad I remembered that. I'm like, I should have it stick out enough so it's showing outside of the frame. My brain is on, but it's not on. It's there, but it's not. I think I'm thinking too fast. I should leave this on top so I know. You can still see it through, like the holes there, so that works too. What I should have done is I probably should have just added a whole book page behind it just to make it easier, but then I'm not sure. No, because I like to have it sporadic, so I'm thinking doing it this way probably works best. So I think I'm just going to add just a little along the sides. I know this looks funny right now, but it's all going to come together. This one's sticking out too much. Hold on. Like that. All right. It was weird not doing a video the past couple of days. I was like, oh my goodness, I gotta do a video. I try and do at least 3 a week. It'll be easier when I come up with a schedule. That's perfect, actually. Okay, now I'm going to trim it along the top. Like this. I just wanted to add a little something else just to give it that. I love using the embossed paper and the book paper. It just gives it that really unique, I just love the look of it. Vintagey look to it. And now I'm gonna place the frame. I can see a little bit of the embossed on there. It's a little bit. It's not much, but it's a little. And now I'm going to go and I'm going to glue this down. I love this photo. You have to go check out her digitals. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. She caters a lot to the shabby chic. Like, it is wow shabby. Like, she's got a lot of shabby chic. That looks really pretty. I love it. Yes, I love this so far. I love the lace. Yes, and then we still have our pocket up here. Now, to add a little more embellishment to it, all right, I'm going to glue this a little bit right here. All right. Now, I have some flowers here. On this one, I did a little bit of a book page that wrapped around the flowers. I've got some pearls up there. I don't want to completely copy it, but I do want to put something along the bottom here. I like the flower idea. I already had that in mind because you guys know these are my favorite. I love the flowers. Let me tell you something though. If you guys have gotten these, if you have them, aren't they messy? They are messy. You pull one out and like 50 come with it. And then you get all the strings and everywhere, but it's worth it because they look beautiful on a project. I think I'm going to add this right there. Or, actually I think I'm going to add it onto the right side, or I can do it on the bottom. Let's just wrap it first and then I'll decide where I'm going to put it. Let me put this in the garbage. Let me see. Now I'm going to wrap it. I usually have some little thread hanging around on the top waiting for me to wrap one, but I don't. Not this time. I don't think I want to use book page again. I think I want to... That's white. I had a piece that I trimmed. Wait a minute, is that... Yes, okay, this is the lace that I cut off from one of these. So I'm going to use that to wrap it with. Okay, I'm going to try and wrap this. Like that. I think journal toppers are so fun to make because you're limitless when it comes to it. There we go, we have some pretty lace on that. And now I need to decide where I want to place it. Do I want to put it on the bottom? Or do I want to line the bottom with pearls? Or do I want to put this here, but I don't want to cover the book page that I just added on there? I don't want to cover the lace either. There's no writing on this side, so I could add it there. I like the placement that I put it on the other one. I'd have to trim it a little bit so it's not hanging off the book. Okay, let me just, I'm going to have that sit there for a minute while I get the pearls that I have. Let me see. I've got I have pearls somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna go look at my pearls really quick. Okay, it's funny because I just organized my whole craft room. As you guys know, I did a video showing you. Isn't it true that sometimes when you organize, you can't find a thing? Sometimes organized chaos is the best. It's like when everything's a mess, you know exactly where it is. Isn't that funny? You could have a pile of papers, but know exactly where that one paper is that you're looking for. Because why? Because it's a mess and you just know where it is, right? I don't know. That's the way it is for me. I have this really pretty pearls that I used on the other one. I just want to make sure I want to make sure I'm not using the white. I don't want it to be, I'm going to shine this on here really quick just so I can see. I think that's the right color, yeah. Okay. I'm going to use this along the bottom. I'm definitely using this on the new book. I'm loving how this is coming out. This is the style that I was going for. And I think it's going to be perfect for the front of the new book. Well, it's not going to be the new, like it's not going to be the whole front of the book. This is actually going to be a topper that possibly comes off the book. I'm not sure if it's going to be placed on top of the book or if it's going to be one that's going to have two little holes there that wraps. This is going to be the wraparound, but this comes off and we'll have something else on top of the book. I'm not sure which route I'm going yet. That's a journey that we'll take together while I'm making the book. I have all kinds of ideas running through my head, but either way, this will look really nice on top. And I think I'm going to add this one along the side here, because I don't want to go like that. I'd have to trim it. Oh man, I don't know what to do. I mean, let me just place it here for a second. Hold on. What I should have done is I should have wrapped this with this. This is really pretty too. But I don't want to make it too thick because then it won't sit on the page. All right. I can have it there. Yeah, I like the way that looks. That's pretty. Let's do it. Okay. It may cover the book page a little bit, but I'm going to try and put it just so you can still see it. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited right now. Like, I was afraid this wasn't going to come out good. I don't know why. I always get nervous before doing a video. I'm like, I hope it comes out good. I hope it comes out good. As the beads go flying to the other side of the room. All right. Do you ever get in a silly mood? I just had a little bit of Red Bull and shh, don't tell my heart doctor. No, I'm allowed to have it once in a while. I actually have a cardiologist, and I was born with a heart defect. I was born with bicuspid aortic valve. I have like 2 leaflets in my aorta instead of 3, so I have to have a scan done every year. But I try to stay away from too much caffeine. but the doctor's okay with it as long as I just don't go crazy. So I have a Red Bull every once in a while, or I used to drink a lot of coffee, but then I started getting more palpitations and stuff. I live with palpitations all the time, so I try and be careful. That was my long-winded way of saying I had a Red Bull tonight, but just don't tell my doctor. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with this. I don't know if I'm going to add anything else onto it. I wanted to add a little charm, like this one I put like a little paper clip with this little charm here. I'm just loving the daintiness of this. I'm not sure if I want to add anything else. I have a key. I actually have this too. I was thinking about adding, but I think it just brings too much dark onto there. I have this, whoops. I have this little charm. I have this, but it seems a little too big. I have a key. I have this little charm here, but it's a little too dark for this. But I think I'm going to leave it as it is right now. And if I come across something, this is cute. I made this little flower with this button in here. It doesn't fit the vintage look. I really like the key idea, but I think this key is a little bit too big. Ooh, I kind of like that on there. Or what about if I get a smaller key and like add it up here somewhere? I don't know. What do you think? Like I'm gonna get an answer because I can hear you from here a day later while you're watching it. I don't know. Okay. Before I end the video, let me just look at the little keys that I have. Let's see what we have. I just feel like it needs one more thing. And I don't know what. I have all these little doodads in here. I've got that, but that's way too blingy for this. Yeah, that's a little bit too much. I know I have some small keys. Is that a big key or a small key? I like that key though. Let's look at my other box. I got more, I have more. My desk is such a mess. You guys only see this, but to the left, it's like a hurricane hit. And what I usually do is I'll clean up while the video is uploading to YouTube. All right, what do I have? Oh, those are my tools. Wrong bin. I just feel like it needs something else, and I just want to look at everything before I finish this up. And here, ooh, I have this cute bird with the roses, but I don't think the bird would really go with it. Just the roses would look nice. What else do I have? That's a bird charm. I have these little roses without that I could place, like maybe one down here and like one on the top maybe. Like what about that? Like one little rose here on the bottom, one little rose there on the top. That looks vintagey. Yes, ma'am. I think I'm going to go with that. I like it. I'm doing it. See, this is why. Stick with the instinct, right? I wanted to add something else. I looked and I found. This matches with a little bit of flower that's on here. It's perfect. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Okay, I'm going to place that down. And I think that's good. I don't think I'm going to end up adding the key. I think that'll just make too much. What I might do is if I end up doing a closure, using this as a closure, I'll make a little hole and I'll put the key off to the end. What do you think? Or should I put the key right here? I think I'm just going to leave it as is, and then I'll make a hole here and have this hanging off, and that might be the journal topper. We'll play with this more as I add it on top of the book, and we'll see if this is going to actually be placed on top of the book, because if it is placed on top of the book, I'll show you really quick. Like, this is the book here, right? Let's just put some, picture to it for a moment, okay? All right, where's that piece of lace? Right here, right? I like it because the rose is going to match the rose on top of that. I didn't even plan that. All right, so I'll have to find fabric to go underneath. This will be on top. Okay, and then this will be placed on top here. And if this ends up being attached to the book, then what we can do is we can put a hole here. Well, it wouldn't go there. I can do a key, put a hole here too. Or what I can do is I can make two little holes and use this as a flip up and use the key and stuff. So I don't know, we'll play around with it. We'll figure it out when the time comes, but I think this will look gorgeous on top of this lace, right? I'm going to put fabric down. I haven't chose the fabric that's going to go underneath it yet, but I'm definitely using this as my top because this has been my inspiration piece. So I'm definitely going to use this piece of lace on this book. And then this is going to go on top, right? And that's going to be the start of the book. I love it. I absolutely love this journal top. All right, I'm going to go with it. So I told you I wasn't sure which one I'm going to use. After doing this, I'm definitely using this one. I absolutely love it. This is exactly what I was looking for. And it has a front pocket too, which is perfect. Maybe we can find a way to stick a tag in there or something that's going to come out the top of the book and it'll look really pretty. Some old vintage paper or a vintage tag, or we'll do something really nice, but this is it. Okay, we are at almost 45 minutes, so I'm going to end this video here. I have 2 pairs of scissors out. Oh my goodness. I think it's time for me to upload this video so I can get to bed. But I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the weekend. I will be putting a video up tomorrow in the start of the book. We're going to bind the spine to the book. I'm going to show you how I do that, and then we're going to play around with some fabric to add on top to it. So I'm also going to be coming up with a schedule on how we're going to, which days we're going to be working on the book and which days we're going to be doing regular projects. So I will think about that over the weekend, and I will get a schedule up so that you guys know what days I'll be recording and putting a video. All right, so I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure you leave a comment below, like the video, subscribe if you haven't yet. I love seeing you guys added to the group. It's great. I love you all. Have a great night. Bye.